And now we're going to be looking at finding an equation from a table. Hopefully you watched the kind of sister video or the companion video for this, finding an equation from a graph. This one has to deal with if you were given information in a XY table, a T chart, if you'd be able to figure out an equation from that. So let's take a look. We'll be able to create an equation after this video, looking at this data. So xy, how do we get from x to y in each row? Well, let's take a look. From 0 to 0, well, that doesn't give us any information. We're not adding anything, that's for sure. But from 2 to 6, how do I get from 2 to 6? I can either do add 4 or times 3. And I'm going to change that real quick because we're not using the x as a multiplication symbol. Times 3. So it's one of those two. Let's check the next row. 4 to 12. Well, it's not plus 4. So times 3? Yeah. Times 3. Times 3. Let's check here. Times 3. Yep. Times 3. Yeah. Okay, so every single time to get y, we have to take 3 times x. And there we go. That's a question that we always have to ask ourselves. How do we get from x to y in each row? But it has to make sure to match up, because we could have just said, well, it would be x plus 4. But that's not true for each row. Let's look at another example. Now looking at this data, the first question that we're going to ask is, what is y when x is 0? What is y when x is 0? Okay, so I'm going to find, okay, here, right here, x is 0, y is 4. That's our y-intercept. So I'm going to write that right here, 4, because I know that's my y-intercept. So the next part, so after subtracting 4 from each number in the y-axis, let's subtract 4. Minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4 from each one. Okay. What else do you have to do to get from x to y? So if this were minus 4, let's just look at this row right here. 6 minus 4, that would be 2. So let's see how we get from 1 to 2. 1 to 2. How do I get from 1 to 2? Well, I can add 1, or I can multiply by 2. Let's see which one holds up. 8 minus 4. Okay, that's 4. But when I look at this, do I add 1 to get from 2 to 4? No, I don't add 1. Do I multiply by 2? Yes. 2 times 2 equals 4. So it's not add 1. It is multiply by 2. So every time I have to multiply times 2, I have to multiply 3 times 2, then add 4 to get to y. I can cross this out. Now that I figured it out, let's look at this. 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 4 is 12. 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 4, which is 14. 6 times 2, plus 4, which is 16. So, I know that I'm going to add 4 to each of these numbers, but I'm going to, first thing that I have to do is 2 times x. So, whatever number that I put in for x, I have to multiply by 2 and then add 4. Order of operations applies here. So, a little bit of review. First, you want to ask yourself, what is y when x is 0? That's going to tell you your y-intercept. The second step is, okay, let's say I take that away. What else do you have to do to get from x to y? And we figured out that you have to multiply by 2 to get to that missing number. So take this information, we'll apply it tomorrow, and look at a set of tables that we're going to be able to figure out some of these equations. Have a great night, everybody.